Hello and welcome to this conversation about gender-based violence against women. And we're into days of activism against the violence that we are seeing in our society against women abuse. And as a father and as a man, a husband, I thought let us talk to our gents in this subject. It's a very complex subject, and I believe we need to take a listen because it is very, very important for us to talk about this violence against women. It is very, very important for us to talk about it. We should not uh, turn a blind eye on this subject. It is very, very important to listen to. A few weeks ago, I was talking to a lady who is in the ANC Youth League here in Gauteng, and she was telling me about the issue of objectifying women as sex objects, uh, which is kind of like the big problem that we find in our society today, that women are valued as objects or are valued as sex objects. And she was saying that men must stop this. That is the reason why we find that men end up abusing women because they view them as objects. But I also want to take an angle which I believe that we have overlooked over the years, because this angle is uh, what is the root cause of the problem. We should not deal with the with the symptoms. If you know, you and I know, if you are from Africa, you know that if you want to deal with malaria in a society, you you can treat the people with your chloroquine and your fancy dab and all these malaria tablets. But the biggest way of preventing malaria from spreading from one person to the other is dealing with the mosquitoes, because the mosquitoes, they are the carrier of the malaria um, the disease. So that is the problem that we find in our society, that we are dealing we are not dealing with the carrier of the problem, which is our media. You see, in this in media, we people watch stuff on their phone, people watch stuff on the billboards, people listen to music on their in their cars. These are the carriers um, of of gender-based violence against women. Let me give, for example, you go to any music video right now, be it hip hop or pop or whatever music video. Most of the music video, you find that there is always a man, and the man is surrounded by women, and as men is surrounded by women, the women are are kind of like worshiping the men. And this is where the problem emanates from, because as you are, as a man is being viewed like that by your teenager, who is a young boy, by a grown-up man who is maybe is in his 20s, they in their mind, they are thinking that this is what any woman is supposed to be treated. You can have as plenty women as you can, and still you remain the boss, you remain the king, you remain the person who's on top. That is where the problem comes from. You watch every advert. Most of the advert, you find a semi-naked woman advertising, be it any product, be it a car, be it beer, be it soap, be it lotion, or whatever you think of. You always find a woman there representing or being the point of attraction. So this is where the problem is coming from. You listen to music video, I mean, to songs. You find that songs are uh, saying women, excuse me, are bitches. Sorry for using this word, but this is the reality, that you find that songs are saying that women are bitches, which is very, very bad, because as this music is playing in the subconscious mind of a young person, they are going to become that at the end of the day. Eventually, they are going to start to think that way. They are going to start to think that this is how I should treat a woman. And this is where the problem comes from. So I believe that if we really want to treat this problem, if we want to make sure that this gender-based violence goes away, because we no longer have those around the fire talk that we used to have as men back then when in our African culture, whereby men would sit around the fire and they are taught the rudiments of how to become a man and how to become a father and how to become the head of the house. These talks we no longer have. But now people are sitting around front of the TV, watching a soapy, watching a movie, and as they are watching that movie, what is being said in that movie? What are they being taught? Here in Africa, you and I know that here in Africa, we have been taught that we were never using swearing words like your S, your FU, and all of that. We have not been accustomed to use these words because they are not part of our culture. We don't use those words. We don't use profanity in our language. In our lingua, there is no such a thing. But because of what we have been watching, because of the movies that we've been watching, because of the songs that we've been listening to, because of what we've been exposed to, the videos of what we've been exposed to, it has changed the way how we do. We have started to use these words randomly. We started to use these words, but this is not part of our culture. We started using them because we heard them from somewhere, and it set in our subconscious mind. And when that stuff set in our subconscious mind, we ended up becoming that, and it became our lingua in our day-to-day thing. So this is the problem that I find, that it is the major cause. The biggest cause of gender-based violence against women, because we are subjected to this kind of environment. Because remember, when you're listening to music, it creates an environment that you become. It's like a theater in the mind that you start to play, and as you are starting to play that play in your mind, you become that. One of the days you are going to act that way because it has been sitting. You are going to act it instinctively without even like blinking an eye. You start to view women that way. This is the problem that we have, gents, and we need to deal with that. How best can we deal with this problem? Just like we can't stop the multinational companies from advertising, from doing their advertisement in a way that objectify women. We can't stop them, but we can cut on what they are telling us. Women, we can cut on the music that says women are bitches. We can cut on the music that objectify women. Any music that shows a woman as a thing, or something that is next to a car, or something that is next to the money, or next to the gold, next to the whatever thing that they want to put to you, as long as it is saying that a woman is an object, then you actually have a problem, and you need to cut on that kind of music. You need to cut on that junk, because that is the major cause of gender-based violence. I believe that we as men, we can have this conversation. I want us, if you're joining me for the first time, let us talk about this. Put in your comments on the comment section. Let us talk about the gender-based violence. How can we deal with this? How can we deal with this? I've just given you part of my opinion that I believe that is the biggest cause of gender-based violence, or it is what we are conscientizing our men to. And at the end of the day, men become what they are listening to. Men become what they are hearing. Men become what they are seeing on print media or on social media. And this is the cause of gender-based violence against women. So thank you so much to those who have joined me. And if you are watching this as a rebroadcast, I hope you take this as the biggest lesson that you can inculcate in your mind, and it becomes part of your agenda to make sure that you cut off on this music. You cut off on the things that make you to act in a certain way, things that will mold your character. They come from the media, they come from the music that you listen to, and this is the problem that we have. You can have a good music video that you can listen to that does not objectify women, and it can still be fine. Please, let's listen to that, because that is what we really need as a society. And if we can cut on all of that, we are on our way to eradicate gender-based violence. And thank you to those who have joined me. I hope to see you next time. But my core is cut off on everything that makes you to view women as an object, because that is the major cause of gender-based violence. To those who are joining me, please, thank you for being part of the audience. And if you're joining me as a rebroadcast, please share this video with your friends and family. Tell the men, be a man. Don't listen to junk, because when you listen to junk, you're going to become junk, and we don't want a junk society. I'll see you next time as we talk, but let's keep on talking on this platform, even on Facebook and on Twitter. I'll see you next time.